I'm walking different, talking different. Loved ones see the difference. I'm untalkative and distant. I guess I'm seeing true colors. Stealing this for suckers. Deport the Jerry Hellers and the Busters. Salute the good fellas and the hustlers.
Yo, that's my shit right there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was coming in here. I didn't know what my vibe was gonna be. That set my vibe. It's Monday. Listen, we're going a little early. We'll have this out way earlier than usual. It's Muffins Martinez to my left, Chef the Matrix to the right. We had a difference of opinion. I know you see the graphic. You're going to have to wait before we get into the juicy stuff. MLW just had Reloaded. We did the live. Go check that out. When we do our lives, a lot of the time it's meant more to like just hang out, talk some ish, have some fun while we watch wrestling. So it is what it is. I thought it was a average show at best, right? Like, you did have some cool stuff in it though, right? Like, and I know you want to talk about it and go in, but what I will say is now there's two luchador dudes that I'm buying into. Hopefully we see more of them. One of the storylines we know we're going to definitely see the kid a lot more. So my brother, talk to me about MLW Reloaded since you take over.
Yeah, man. So Reloaded happened this past Saturday at 10 o'clock again on YouTube and Beam Sports. Too late, yeah. Well, it was a Saturday night, so it was all right. And just things that stood out of my head was the match between Neon, which I know you were really high on, and who was his opponent? A 56-year-old dude, I believe.
Oh, not Virus, right? It was Virus?
Not Virus, yes, Virus. So Neon came out, did at least two moves that I've never seen before being done. I said, all right, I'm impressed. You were more impressed with his mask than anything else. I still think the mask didn't match the outfit, but that's not here nor there. I know that Mystical approached him later on in the back about how impressed he's been with him, seeing him in Mexico, and then that night at the show, and how hopefully they'll be able to tag together in the future and go after MLW Gold, which means we might see another double champion again in the future, or hopefully Mystical will finally drop his belt and have somebody else give it a shot and stuff. So we might see a new tag team moving forward. I know that was one of the matches that we were looking forward that actually paid off. My match that I was looking forward to was Alejandra Quintanilla versus Persephone. Yeah, I finally said it right. Yeah, Persephone, even though I kept saying it Persephone before, or Persephone. And we were looking forward to the match, except Alejandra looked a little bit timid, or a little bit like half a second behind on some of the moves or whatever. So she didn't look as crisp as I've seen her in RCW, River City Wrestling down in Dallas. So that kind of disappointed me on that one. I don't know if Persephone either hit the finishing maneuver the way she wanted to, or she slipped on the top rope and hit it with a headbutt on the stomach. I don't know, but it looked kind of weird how he came out with. But
and it whatever was it was fast.
Yeah, whatever it was, she pulled it off because she got to hit it. She got to hit it real good in the stomach. So I'm hoping that that's her finishing maneuver. Headbutt to the stomach or whatever. But yeah, they looked that pretty. I know there was one that we really liked, and that was the pirate who looked like a executioner pirate.
Was it Dark Panther, right?
Yeah, Dark Panther. And who he went up against? Oh, the snitch.
Oh, Nakamura.
So we really enjoyed that match. That was
a really good match.
And not because of Nakamura, but because of Dark Panther and what he was able to do in that match. So hopefully, we said that hopefully they'll bring him back again in the future, hopefully in the next taping or in the one coming up in April, whenever that happens. But we were really high on him when we saw him. Other than that, the mystical match in the main event versus Carnevoro was okay. I mean, nothing special. I mean, I don't want to crap on the show, but it wasn't on paper. It looked good. There were some bangers that surprised me. Other matches that I thought were going to be better weren't. So, but at least next show, Super Fight 6, on paper, it began to look good.
Yeah.
So far, every match that they have set up, they look good. And then they just mentioned today Máscara Dorada and Mystical up against Esfine and another dude with a cool ass mask. So we know if you got a cool ass mask, you can wrestle your ass off. So we know that already. So that's going to be a bar burner next time. So, that's a Saturday. Hopefully it's not at 10 at nighttime because it's going to be live from Atlanta. So I'm hoping that they have it at 8 and not at 10 o'clock because this is going to be a live one from Atlanta, Georgia. So, but what will be your rating for this show, Chef?
I'll give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. 6 out of 10. Before we go into that, if you're listening on iHeartRadio, Spotify,
Pandora,
Urban Wrestling Network on YouTube, man, jump over, subscribe, come look at our handsome faces. But Persephone, what I will say,
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Dang.
Yeah, it was kind of underwhelming for me.
I mean, all right, so I gave it a high mark because I did enjoy a high for what I thought it was. Minoru Suzuki, which you had taken a leak at that point. So I like that match. I like the opening to it. I like the aggressiveness. I like him yoking up, with the Contra Unit flag again. I thought that was cool. The Persephone match, even though the one girl felt a little like I don't want to say a deer in headlights, but it definitely looked like it was a bigger stage than what she was used to. And I give her credit because to me, it looked like she was trying to make sure that she was super safe in the ring instead of just doing what she normally does. So she kept a clean, safe match. Kudos to her. Persephone looked great. The ending, like you said, was a little off. Black Panther, we've seen him, I think, in 2 or 3 matches now. We've been impressed with the 2 or 3 matches. So we really like him. We hope he comes back. Who else was there? The Mystical match, like you said, we're already at a point where, to me, Mystical has become our Eddie Edwards.
Yes.
It's always the same match, right? Like there's nothing new to Mystical because you're not giving him an opportunity to at least alter his match a little bit by doing the same CMLL matches, right? You're going to keep getting the same thing. It might be a little stronger style, might be a little faster, but it's all automatically, it's going to be the same kind of match. Yeah. I'm tired of the double champions. Hopefully he loses that belt. I would be cool if they showed the match because I know that Nakamura is big in CMLL. If him and the bread guy, what's the bread guy's name? Kojima. If Kojima and Nakamura had that match in CMLL and we got to watch that and they put it in on a pay-per-view, I think that'd be dope if they win the belts over there and you show the crossover or whatever.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm kind of like, whatever. We had the Duran thing. Unfortunately, we already know the baby daddy is back. So
and don't forget his name, De Oro. Of
gold.
Of
gold, yeah, because he has a gold Aztec Goon mask.
Yeah. And we saw that they finally gave in. They are giving in to the kidnapping demands. They had a big briefcase full of money. I was expecting more at that show and to further the storyline. They just had that one thing, and that was it. I was expecting like a trade at the end of the show. Where they trade the money for the guy, and it didn't happen.
This is where I'm this is where I don't like wrestling at times, right? Like, if you're gonna go into the underground world of societies and shit like that, right? And you want to make it this crazy look. I mean, you kidnap a kid, right? Like an infant at that. You leave it in the room, they go get it, baby's fine, cool. But the baby daddy should have been in the back of a car, or you should have had to go somewhere and they meet somebody. It doesn't even have to be the main person who's behind this. And they give them the briefcase and they're like, go to the XYZ, and the person will be there if it's a factory, if it's a whatever, sitting on a chair and he's tied up, but you get him back. The whole, here's like, what, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000, whatever it was in a briefcase here, that we want our guy back. Like, I guess it was kind of lackluster, right? Like, when you do cool shit, you got to have an ill finish. It's kind of like, for anyone that ever played basketball, you have $1 million move and a 3-second finish. That means your shit wasn't all that, right? The lead up to it, you go, ooh, and then you're like, oh man, he missed the shot or the dunk or whatever, and it takes everything away from it.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. So, yeah, so now we'll sit down for February 8th, which I'm pretty 3 weeks, I believe. Saturday night, like I said, hopefully is at 8 o'clock, maybe 9, and not at 10. Because the 10 o'clock shit on Saturdays is messing with my sports. Watching stuff, I could be doing stuff with my nieces or whatever. Saturday night they come over, they go crazy. We start watching. They have me watching some crazy cartoon movie or something, which I overly I hate, but inside I'm going, oh, it's a cartoon movie, yay! But I can't let them know that I'm excited. So I gotta oh god, not another cartoon movie. Even though inside my little 12-year-old girl is like, yay, cartoon movie, yay, with my favorite girls, woohoo! But in real life, I don't like you guys. Go away, oh my god, another cartoon movie.
You got to stunt, right? You got to stunt.
Yeah, you got to stunt on it, man. So yeah, but I know. So that's all MLW thing. I know, Chef, you have something that you really want to dig into regarding which is the picture of the post, which is Triple H.
Listen, so word on the streets. The word on the streets is that WWE really wants to buy TNA, right? Like, and hear me out. We keep saying how TNA has been moving up, and this is before. Now, we had even said that TNA, if it keeps going in the right direction, can become the number 2 over AEW, because you've seen the decline of buying people in seats, right? They want to go to smaller venues because it's not making sense financially for a bigger venue with less people. Take a smaller venue.
AEW,
yes, AEW. Right? Yep. So AEW's having its own little issues. So right now, where AEW was so light years ahead of anything underneath them, TNA's buzz and what they've been doing ever since the whole NXT thing has been slowly climbing this ladder. Now, I'm not saying TNA and AEW are here and here, but TNA is making some noise. Let's just be honest, right? Like, they're making noise. NXT people are in the crowds. We heard it at the last pay-per-view where they're chanting NXT, NXT. They're going crazy because their people are there. Unlike the last few pay-per-views where NXT people have been coming in and it's been kind of crickets because there was an Impact crowd.
Yeah.
The more NXT guys are coming in regularly, the more NXT fans or WWE fans are coming in to watch their talent. And that's making Impact look better because they're selling more tickets and they're getting a bigger rise, and you're growing your fan base. So I do think that even with the NXT TNA thing, eventually that will hit its ceiling because you can only go but so far. If WWE goes, you know what? I love this. And if we take TNA and we buy it out, I'm not saying you're going to sit there and go, all right, put Hunter in control over there, leave Shawn Michaels in NXT, and whoever does WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, they do them, right? If that's the case, that's super dope because we all know Triple H knows how to make an amazing product. And if you give him a TNA roster and all of a sudden, he's the face of TNA and he's the one coming out and booking and doing all this shit, TNA goes to another level, right? Because there is no ceiling because WWE now owns them. They don't. This isn't a WCW thing where they were competition and they bought them to kill them. This is a buying them and making them part of what you do. It also takes TNA, puts them in a position where you go, our second company, which is TNA, which is kind of like ROH for AEW, but TNA is bigger than ROH. If you give them a legit platform, because now you're not a TNA product, even though the name is TNA, it's sided with WWE. WWE starts calling around networks, hey, you want wrestling? We got TNA. It's our product. Now you put it on, I'm not saying Netflix, but whatever, WWE makes that phone call to your office, you're picking up, right? Like, because that's how it works. TNA can get on a massive platform. All of a sudden, there's more revenue coming in. They're part of the universe. All of a sudden, we sit there and go, holy shit, right? Like, TNA comes into the number 2 position. WWE now has a monopoly because they hold the top 2 shows. That's just to me. The top 2 companies, I shouldn't say shows because NXT is doing its thing. The top 2 promotions, because NXT is part of WWE, even though TNA at that point would be, but TNA with WWE, TNA leapfrogs AEW, and now all of a sudden does AEW become Impact Wrestling? I'm not going to use the word TNA. I'm going to say Impact Wrestling because when they started having the problems, they weren't selling venues. Can AEW handle that? Because there's a massive ego issue there, and we all know it's Tony Khan, but I do think if WWE does the smart thing, buys it, Impact TNA sells, TNA in a year or 2 can leapfrog AEW.
Now, you were saying how TNA, AEW are right here now. So TNA,
they're
AEW,
close. They're close.
They're close now because now AEW went from here and went down into the venues. So now they're using the same venues that TNA is using. The only difference between right now TNA and AEW is the deep pockets of Cousin Tony. That's it.
Yep.
Cousin TK has the deep pockets, and all the stuff now is on HBO Max, and they have the stuff on TNT, TBS. So yes, so this is the reason why it's slightly over TNA. Now you mentioned about WWE buying TNA if that happens in the future. Right there and then, NXT becomes TNA, and TNA becomes NXT. Because what happens now is you take a lot of the guys, the younger talent, put them NXT. The veterans, you move them up to either SmackDown or Raw. Right there, you have the flux of now new storylines, new feuds. Eddie Edwards definitely is going to go up to the top. Eric Young definitely is going to go up to the top. And some other wrestlers will definitely go up to the top. You have the younger wrestlers, they'll be in NXT, TNA, or whatever. Now, they go from obsolete Access TV to a Peacock network now. Because now SmackDown is still shown on Peacock. So now, like you said, hey, we're shopping NXT. TNA now is on CW. Hey, how long is that contract for? A year? I mean, I don't know how long the contract is for.
Yeah.
But now you start saying it's on CW right now, but it's going to go to Peacock at this time. Now everybody's going to be able to see TNA because it's going to be found on a app now, a bigger app that's under the WWE umbrella. Right there and then, TNA, NXT just got the deep pockets, just like Cousin Tony, because now you have TKO building that bridge here now. Now you have no more tapings anymore. You have your live show only the Tuesday or Thursday, and you make it out of one location, maybe in Florida, like they do now, Full Sales, or somewhere else where it's bigger, and you keep it there. And then once a month or once every 2 months, when they have that PLE, they'll go out into a bigger venue. Okay, now let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to Chicago. Let's go here. And you have a bigger venue, and then you bring some superstars from the top to come down. Oh, we're going to host this, do that. Now you see the eyes, like you're saying. Right now, TNA is benefiting from the WWE eyes coming in because they were in Dallas and they were sold out. But I'm pretty sure, and let's be honest, 5,000 fans were not all TNA fans.
No, hell no. Hell no.
Let's call it. Let's call a buck a buck. They were not all TNA fans, but majority.
No, it was too.
I will say that. Why we could say that?
I do it. Listen,
50.
To be fair, I'll do a 75-20. I'll do a 75-25.
TNA and 25 WWE.
Yeah, 25 NXT. Yeah, or WWE. Yeah.
So we do. So we'll say 75-25 mix. And
Yeah.
we know it was packed. And we know they were blessed to have Cora J came out that night on the pay-per-view. Cora J once again came out on the tapings. And once again, she's going to be there on the tapings, even wrestling on the tapings that they take down the following night on Friday for the next 3 weeks. So here's the drawback now of having the live pay-per-view, the big buzz, and you having your first live show in almost 8 years, humongous buzz, and now you're going back to tapings again now for the next 3 weeks till the next live show that's going to be down in whenever it's going to be. Oh, what is it from? It's in Florida. I forgot where they already announced it too.
Oh, you said the Impact Zone?
Yeah. No, but they're going to Florida and they announced the venue. I just can't remember what the venue was in Florida. But they're having the.
It wasn't Universal, right?
I can't remember now. Honestly, I don't remember. But I know it's February 20th or whatever that third Thursday is in February. There's going to be a live show from Florida. So Friday from Dallas, they do the tapings for the next 3 weeks. They have Cobra J, they have Fraxium, they have Trevor Lee. Oh, not Trevor. I'm sorry, Trevor Lee. Jesus, Wesley and his new team, the two big dudes now that he's with now. So they are all part of the tapings coming up in some shape, form, or way for the next 3 weeks. So now this is what hurts TNA product is now. People might not know, or people know that it's tapings. They might not. If they're new, they might not. If they're WWE fans that coming in to see, they might not know that this is tapings. But they will find out for the next 3 weeks. It's a tape show for 3 weeks. And before the next live show, again on a Thursday, followed by another set of tapings, or maybe a pay-per-view, whatever comes in February. But whatever rub the universe is giving them is working. But the tapings is going to hurt them. So you give some and you take some. So now they have the live show on Thursday. Now we got to see what happens tomorrow night on the live show of WWE. So they continue storylines coming over to Tuesday, and then Thursday will be taped. Well, that right there, boop, just kind of cuts it down the middle, like, oh man, that momentum now. Can they hold it for the next 3 weeks?
We got to have baby steps, right? Like the partnership started slow, but they've had guys come over, they had girls come over. Now we're seeing a lot more come into TNA. So there's a lot of things that are going in play. I like the fact they're taking their time and they're making sure that they're doing everything right. Like I do appreciate everything they're doing. I don't think the tapings is the best thing. Obviously, we hate tapings, but to be honest with you, do what you do whatever you feel is the way it's going to be right. But here's where the only thing I wanted to disagree with you. If WWE buys TNA, I don't want TNA to not be TNA, right? Like I do not want it to be NXTNA, because I'm not acting like, listen, we all know real Hall of Fames don't exist in wrestling, right? Like it does not, because you tell me where the Hall of Fame is for wrestling.
Stamford, Connecticut?
That building don't exist no more. It's an apartment complex.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. What about
the old WWE headquarters? An apartment complex.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I seen it on Instagram like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
The building's an apartment complex?
It's an apartment complex.
Wow, I did not know that. So
bro,
what the hell they moved to now?
Yo, I don't even know. But put I guess WWE headquarters apartment complex. Somebody sent it to me, and I was like, oh shit, did not know that, right? No. So that square building that we've seen all the years No, that's not WWE no more, according to what I've been sent. But
wow.
What I will say is, if you want to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, or the NFL Hall of Fame, or the NHL or NBA, those are legit places where you have Hall of Fame bust and everything. A TNA Hall of Fame is where? Right? I don't know. ROH Hall of Fame, where? Don't know. MLW, N.W.A, don't know. Give me a real Hall of Fame and we'll talk. But TNA's legacy is way too important to the business, I think, from what it meant when it first came in to where it is now, that I would rather it become their WCW and NXT stays for developmental, however you're going to do it. And this is its own show. So if you have Monday Night Raw and then SmackDown is Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have SmackDown on Friday, NXT's Tuesday. Yeah. Give me Impact on Thursday. Give me TNA back on Thursdays. And then you have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you have Saturday main event.
I don't see it though.
How? It's the perfect marriage.
Yeah, but why would they have you bring somebody is to absorb it or to put it together with something else?
You'd be good with TNA taking over NXT and no longer be NXT?
Well, no, because they'll change the name to something else.
So you want NXTNA?
Dude, NXTNA sounds good to me. Or
but the guys like Moose and Eddie Edwards and all those guys are too good to be at that point.
But that's why the veterans will get pushed up to SmackDown or Raw.
And do what? Like, all right, hear me out. There's but so much time that you could give somebody, and maybe Moose, right, or a Josh Alexander or a Santana. Those are the three guys that I could see compete in either or on both. Eddie Edwards, he's not charismatic enough to do it. Matt and Jeff Hardy, who the fuck cares, right?
Dude, Matt and Jeff Hardy, even though we don't care about them, they still bring a buzz. People still love them. If you watch the show on Thursday, that place was going crazy for those guys.
Of course.
And WWE will take those guys back in a second.
You know why? Because a lot of these fans are morons. Let's just be honest with you. Because if people are going to pop for fucking Ric Flair or a Hulk Hogan, right? Like, these fucking dinosaurs, enough. Like, you don't need these guys.
Well, they're in their 40s. They're not in their 50s or 60s.
Yeah, but Matt and Jeff have been doing this for over 30 years.
I know that. And they're in their 40s.
And they look rough.
Well, and they still can go. I mean, WWE will take those guys in a heartbeat and put them against Motor City Machine Guns or DIY and have feuds against those guys like that. They'll bring money.
But then you're going to take crazy. See, but here's my problem. Man, fuck the people. Here's my problem: is you're going to bring these old dinosaurs in, and then they're going to come and take a spot from a young upcoming tag team that we should be seeing for the next 20 or 30 years.
And we know for a fact WWE is horrible with tag teams. You've seen that.
Absolutely.
They're horrible.
But don't waste your youth on dinosaurs.
All I'm saying is I cannot fathom TKO having another show on the week to have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and a standalone TNA by itself. They rather put them together with NXT, have the young, whoever's young there, keep it NXT with the feuds, and then you move the veterans up to the top, and then you have a good Tuesday night or a Thursday night, they can move it, of TNA NXT mixture. And then you can have those PLEs instead of being every 3 months, you can have them every 2 months, because the stores have them every 2 months on a not on a giant venue, but they'll find a nice 5,000, 6,000 seat venue and make that money.
All right, but then
the bottom line is making that money.
If you're gonna do that, it's got to be once a month. If it's becoming NXTNA, it's got to be once a month. And not for nothing, one time a year, it's got to be in the Impact Zone.
Yeah. I gotta know. In Orlando,
Yeah,
too small.
bro,
Well,
it's
maybe
once a year.
yeah.
You have a,
What was
you have a
which one was the big stage? Was it 19 or 21?
19. 19 was the bigger one.
The bigger one.
21 looked bigger, but 19 was bigger.
Okay, 21 was the last one they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 19. Yeah, 19 will work. And
Bro,
yeah, once a month.
if you
The reason they do every 3 months is because they do a Raw one every 3 months, a SmackDown one every 3 months. So they alternate. 1 month is Raw, 1 month is SmackDown, 1 month is both, and then they have an NXT one separate on the day before or the day after. So
yeah, but TNA is a major, NXT is a developmental.
well, if they get bought, it will not be a major anymore. I'll tell you that right now.
We're gonna agree to disagree because TNA will not be absorbed like that.
Yeah, I do not see them buying it and then becoming a major on its own. I doubt it. It's the same thing with AEW, what they did with ROH. They're trying to keep it. No, hold up. They're trying to keep it a different identity in AEW, and you gotta pay $10 a month to watch ROH stuff, and half of the shit don't make any sense because there's no direction there. Because you only have one person, unfortunately, one person's ego is destroying AEW, which is TK.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you know something? I'll take it back. I'll take it back because I just thought of something. Like you said, if they put Shawn Michaels in charge of it, or somebody else with the same IQ, then yes, I could see it. Somebody trustworthy, because right now, Shawn Michaels, I think, is the guy from NXT. Is the one who's in charge. So you got to put somebody else that you trust in the TNA one and say, okay,
Triple H.
Who?
Triple H.
Well, no, dude, Triple H is overseeing SmackDown and Raw.
So then what about William Regal?
Hey, right there. That solved the issue there. You put Regal in NXT and you put Shawn Michaels in TNA for now, just to start up the ship. And then once, 6 months, a year from now, when everything, then you could switch them. But yeah, that'll probably work. I could see that. I could see that happening. If they do it that way, then yes.
See, I'm telling you, and if any TNA fans see this, don't get your fucking butt hurt and all that shit. Like, listen, understand your product, right? Because you're the same people who hated on WWE, fuck WWE, and then now that they're doing so much better, y'all love WWE because it's working. If you're gonna hate something, stay consistent, right? Stay consistent. Not when it just helps what you like. And we've been saying this for years. Don't be a promotion fan, be a fan of the game. You know what I mean? A promotion is just a name. That's all it is to it. It's just a name. The talent make the shows what they are, so it is what it is. But what I will say is, listen, TNA's in a really good position. I like what they're doing. NXT has been fucking carrying them because, let's be honest, ever since NXT came into the fold, TNA's been on some next level trajectory shit.
Yep.
So enjoy what y'all got because this is looking dope, and we know that the partnership was just signed over for a few more years or whatever it is. So there's a lot of positives going forward messing with WWE.
Yeah. And now I'm going to throw a curveball into this conversation because then the rumor mill, another rumor that came out that was debunked and maybe was not debunked about Tony Khan actually trying to buy TNA before Scott D'Amore was relieved of his job. So, Chef, what did you think, or what did you make of that specific rumor, if it was true, if it's not, and what will happen if TK would have been able to purchase TNA the same way how you see WWE buying it? What do you think what would have happened, or what do you think TK would do with TNA if the big if?
So
right now it's not going to happen. And that's not going to happen because of the partnership with already. But at that time, there was rumors, maybe not, maybe somebody made up the rumors, and the rumor just took off by itself like a baby trying to figure out how to walk. And
so let me talk to the goofy fans first, right? Because the goofy fans are the ones that I hate the most. So for all you goofies, when they heard about this partnership with AEW, y'all was pro AEW, AEW this, AEW that. Good TNA is becoming the shit, da-da-da. Let me explain something to you. That partnership never was a partnership, right? Tony Khan literally whipped his joint out, pissed all over your company, and Impact allowed it, right? Like, so I have no respect for the brass at that point because you can't allow another man to come in, piss all over your floors, and do nothing about it. He came into Impact, shitted on it, goofed on it as much as he could, never had any talent come over. When they became free agents, he wanted them, right? So they were never good enough to be on AEW, but when they were free agents, he started signing everyone. So let's just make sense of that, because you never seen your girl Deonna Purrazzo, the fucking women's champ forever, and had ill matches with Jordana Grace and who's the girl who she's there now? Black girl, mad talented.
Kiara Hogan?
Kiara Hogan, right? Because Kiara Hogan was doing her thing, and now she's there. Kiara Hogan was there.
And the funny thing was, Kiara Hogan never did one even appearance in AEW. And as soon as her thing came up, whoop, she was there in double feature, one in tape TNA and one in live Friday night on one of those shows they had. And she was there wrestling. That was crazy, seeing stuff like that happen.
So, I mean, she's super talented, right? But it goes to show you that he had no respect for the company. He was going to get his feet, get in there, see who he wanted, pilfered him, right? He poached him, and then said, fucking I'm out, right? Fuck you, we're done.
That's partnership not a partnership. Ever. Worst partnership ever.
He shitted on y'all, and I say y'all because a lot of y'all fans don't know how to separate being a fan and thinking you're part of this company. So he destroyed it. And if he would have sat back and bought this, there'd be no TNA at this point. TNA would be a library under AEW for an app or whatever they're going to do. And that's all TNA would be. A bunch of your favorite wrestlers will be looking for work because he's not going to sign everybody. Because his interest is anybody from WWE and a few younger people that he liked over there. Those people he already signed. Right? Like, so a lot of your people would be signed elsewhere or whatever, because his whole attraction would have been, I own the library. I have that because now I have something to compete with against WWE because we don't have a library. $10 for fucking Ring of Honor is ridiculous. I wouldn't listen. I don't watch Ring of Honor when it was free. I've never been a Ring of Honor fan. I don't. Huh?
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I would say I've never been a fan of them. That takes nothing away from amazing acts that have been there, right? Like Moose was there, came to Impact. The Briscoes, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Like I love Kingston. I've always been a Kingston fan. He's from there. Homicide's from there. Like there's a lot of guys. Samoa Joe was from there. There's a lot of dudes that have came over that were part of that are stars. Yeah, I mean, you can keep going down a crazy list. I just never liked Ring of Honor. If I didn't watch it for free, I'm not watching it for $10.
Well, especially now when there's nothing to watch. It's all crap. And so a lot of the matches are, squash matches.
Yeah.
There's no direction, like I said, because TK owns, I don't know what the hell they're waiting for. It's just matches thrown together, and then they have the pay-per-views every couple of months, and the matches are just done like on the last 2 weeks of whenever it's supposed to happen, and no one knows what's going on there. But yeah.
So I mean, if you were excited about it, Tony Khan would have fucking annihilated it, made it for a library to say, look, we have content, right? Like come to our AEW app or .com or whatever. It's this X month for a month, and you have the entire library of TNA from Beer Money and all those beautiful people
Yes.
Yeah.
So my next question is a two-part question. So one is a rumor and then one is true. The first rumor, do you think WWE bought or did the partnership with TNA multi-year because of AEW not wanting AEW to be on TV or trying to buy or poach people from TNA? You think that's one of the main reasons WWE did the partnership with TNA?
Nah, I think that whoever TKO is, I know The Rock gets credit for it, right? Like, but there's a lot of people behind TKO. I think whoever is behind that, I think
TKO is also people that bought UFC, so they have a lot of money in buying sports shit like that. So
no, exactly. But hear me out, because I think Triple H is such a great wrestling mind. Shawn Michaels is a great wrestling mind. I think the two of them at some point, when Vince kind of got you got to be out of this board because of XYZ.
Yeah, the second time.
I think it was an open opportunity to say, let's go do something that no one has ever done before, especially us, right? And TNA is not a threat. They're never going to be a threat to WWE. AEW has never been a threat to WWE. WCW had a quick stint. And believe it or not, when people think the Monday Night Wars was over way faster than you think, right? So there's no real threat to WWE. They're the Mecca. There's no anything. But when you have an opportunity to do something that no one has ever done before, I think they took the opportunity. They played with it at first, because you've seen, what was it? Gail Kim was the first one that came over for a Rumble? No, it was Magnus's wife. What's her name?
Mickie James.
Mickie James. And she
when she came out with the belt, and they referenced TNA Impact at that time, and everybody, whoa, hell just froze over.
It wasn't like she came out just Mickie James. Having the Knockouts belt, or whatever it's called, that I don't know if it's still called the Knockout belt.
Yeah.
That's a statement, because we've never seen a crossover, especially a title on any company that does not belong to WWE.
Yes.
And Mickie James coming in with the Royal Rumble was like, holy shit, right? She's wearing the women's belt.
I saw it. When that happened, I saw one of her pigs in the farm was flying over.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think at that point, the buzz around social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, whatever else, the fans coming so crazy. Everyone kept saying Mickie James came with a knockout belt, TNA knockout, or Impact Wrestling knockout, Mickie James with the belt, Mickie James with the belt. I think they stepped back and was like, I think we might have hit on something here, right? Like, maybe we got to double down on this. And then all of a sudden you see Jordana Grace, right? You're like, holy shit. So they played with it for a little while, and they said, listen, this might be special. And look what we're talking about now, right? Like, look at the kind of numbers that TNA is doing. Look at the excitement when Joe Hendry comes out, right? Like, let's be honest. Of all the people who have came over to NXT, Joe Hendry's entrance has been the littest entrance out of anyone. He comes out that arena singing his shit.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Every time that dude comes out, now I'll be popping.
Bro, but this is what I'm saying with the excitement of.
And I wasn't and you know me, I wasn't a humongous Joe Hendry fan before that. So,
regardless of what people feel or whatever, WWE is smart. They understand wrestling interest, right? And if fans are going to go crazy for it, let's dive into it. Like, I think that's what it was. I think it was, let's test the waters. Let's see what Mickie James does. Crazy buzz. Social media went crazy. Let's double this down. Let's see what Jordana Grace does. People go crazy, right? Like, so it's a smart move. I don't think it was anything like how I would love to say, oh, yeah, they partnered with them to try to take TNA and put them above AEW. I don't think it had anything to do with AEW. I don't think they give a shit about AEW, to be honest. Tony Khan is a moron, and he's his own threat. Tony Khan is his biggest, what do you say, obstacle. He's his own obstacle on his own race.
He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, his own worst enemy. Absolutely.
And the second rumor, which is not a rumor, which is true, and you just mentioned TK being his own worst enemy and being a moron. He has prohibited any wrestler on the contract with AEW to appear in any wrestling company or show during WrestleMania weekend. So, if you are a wrestler that's on the contract with AEW and we don't see you that much on TV, and maybe it's once every couple of months, but you're still on the contract, and you were thinking that, well, I guess I'll go to WrestleMania weekend and work for all these different companies and make that money. Unfortunately, Cousin Tony said, no, you're not. Since I'm tired of WWE, I'm tired of TNA, I'm tired of everybody screaming over, I'm going to be a pissant, and I'm going to be a complete moron, and they hurt my feelings, so I'm going to block you from working any show for any company during WrestleMania weekend. And if you are working in any show, any wrestling company every weekend, don't bother coming back. So, Chef, what do you feel about you maybe being a wrestler on the contract with AEW? We see you once a month, you're getting a push, and now we haven't seen you for the next 3 months, and you're thinking to yourself, well, WrestleMania week is coming, I'm working for this one. I'm working Friday, I'm working Saturday. Yeah, I'll make my money for the year. And now he pulls this shit here.
So, Muppet Martinez tags me in, right? Bang, I'm in.
Right here we go. Hit the screen. Hit the screen.
Boop. I get tagged in. Bam. So, let me start with this. One of the I shouldn't even curse. One of the coolest things I've ever heard is, and I got to shout out to Coach B, chess coach. He likes to ask newcomers, what did they know about chess? And when these people think they know chess and they don't know about en passants or anything like that, he tells them, you know the difference between chess players and people like you is chess players play chess. You just move pieces, right? So for people who are out there trying to, get checkmate, back ranks, and all that really good stuff of, running the middle and understanding your point, piece by piece. Nope. Tony Khan thinks he's the king on your chessboard, right? He wants to be the king. The only problem is he doesn't understand the value of the queen, the bishop, the rook, or the knight. He thinks everybody's pawns. And he doesn't realize that when a pawn gets to the other side, the pawn can become any piece of chess except for one more king and a pawn. So he doesn't really even understand that. So right now he's taking pieces and all he's doing is turning everyone to pawns and thinking that they're just going to sit back and go, all right, cool, I'm just going to stay a pawn. It gets to a point where a pawn understands its value. And they go, well, if you're not going to use me, I could go make money elsewhere. Yeah, this is a bigger platform than TNA at the moment. This is a bigger platform than N.W.A. This is a bigger platform than MLW. But if I get a decent contract that comes close to this AEW money and I get to be seen on TV or YouTube on a weekly basis and I get used and utilized, yeah, I'll take a little less money and let my brand keep growing than staying here and getting sick in what do you call it, catering or whatever. Tony Khan, by you sitting there saying, if you're signed here, you can't perform in any shows on Mania weekend, for what reason would this be? If I'm just sitting in the back and you're not using me, it doesn't matter if I get hurt. And if I got to sign an NDA, if I get hurt on an independent, I got to pay for my own shit, I'll probably do that because I really need to get my money. Because I'm not doing anything. And if you think that wrestling guys are going to come over and go, well, shit, we've been signed to AEW and we're never on TV. As soon as this is over, I'm out. And not for nothing, a lot of wrestlers are really emotional people. So word of the mouth goes a long way. Because if I get burned by you, you come back and you start talking to my people, and they're like, yeah, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we don't need to be there. Because we're not John Moxley. We're not, even look at Malachi Black. Homeboy's gone as soon as he can.
He's gone.
Supposedly, they've already got things in the works for him to come back and storyline for him, right? Like, so, yeah. So Malachi Black had a crazy buzz, right? You're like, oh shit, like I'll just say Tommy Hands. Malachi Black doing it in WWE. Comes over, the House of Black shit's pretty cool. Never turns into fruit. It just stays on a tree doing nothing. Ortiz and Santana, Pride and Powerful, LAX. I don't know of a tag team that I've seen become free agents to me that had any kind of shit. Like, to me, they would be like if Tom Brady hit the market in his prime. If a Michael Jordan hit the market on his prime, everybody wanted LAX, right? They were super hot, did nothing. You could go through a list of guys who went in there, or females. Deonna Purrazzo, superstar in Impact Wrestling, dominating the women's division. What the fuck is she on? Ring of Honor?
Yeah, dying.
And she's like 30-something, not 40-something, right? So Deonna Purrazzo, MIA. So if you're not a WWE person like a Paige or somebody else, you're really not getting that spot. I mean, Mercedes Marneau, obviously, but once again, when you think Mercedes Marneau, WWE, you think Paige, WWE. Like a lot of these girls, I mean, look at the Britt Baker thing. Britt Baker got beef with Tony Khan. They talking about fuck you deuces.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You matter of fact, talk to me. Muffins Martinez, what's really good? The next thing I gotta ask a question is Britt Baker, AEW, talk to me. Since you ask all the questions, talk to me.
Well, you know, the rumor mill is that this lady is hated more or worse than we ever thought she was. I mean, when her home, what was that, the British girl that was her and came back, she would lose like Bell. She was like one of the girls from Scooby-Doo because she always got the hair.
Oh, man.
Well, she came back from injury, and the first thing she said was, I am not teaming back with her again.
Yep.
So they cut that out. Dude, like even, you know, they said that they were overkilling some of the rumors that people hate her. Not everyone dislikes her, but majority are split between 50-50 that they want her to come back, and some are, if she doesn't come back, she's not going to be missed type of deal shit. There was even a support.
What I was going to say is when you think AEW women division, the face to me at a certain point was Britt Baker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Britt Baker was huge. She I want to say, put AEW women division there on her back for a while, for a year or two, you know, where, you know, and carry that. I know that, you know, some people say if she doesn't come back, hey, whatever. She's not here, you know, she's not here, whatever, you know. If I don't see you, whatever. And there was even, and I don't know if this is true, an audio that was recorded by employee at one of the last meetings, and they forgot to hang up the phone or whatever to put them everyone together on a transfer call. And the dude supposedly recorded some of the conversation, and supposedly you hear Tony Khan like literally shitting on Britt Baker. Now, like, wow. I don't know how authentic the audio is, but it was on Twitter or whatever. But somebody's hearing shitting on Britt Baker a lot. And, you know, whatever marriage was there is over between them. I mean, even Conan came out and said that Britt Baker cheated on Adam Cole, to the point that Britt Baker went online and said, I don't know where you get your information from, but I've never cheated on anyone all my life.
See, but Conan should know better. Why are you snitching for?
Dude, I'm just bringing you what I seen, read, you know, what's been going on. If it's true or not, yeah, I don't believe Conan either, but, you know, he's in the wrestling business, so you never know. I'm pretty sure somebody's been telling him shit, and they don't go back.
Conan don't need clickbait or drama. He's Conan. He's gonna have enough viewers where you don't need to be going down that lane.
Hey, bro, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what I read.
Coney is supposed to represent the street. Like, what are you doing?
Well, Conan's
like,
turning. Well, Conan is singing for a bottle of Sprite right now, or for a drink of Coke. He's singing like a canary. So, like one of the 5 heartbeats, singing for a drink. So so that was the thing too. So Britt Baker is definitely done with the company. Whenever her contract expires, because no one knows also when that expires. So, but she's definitely done unless this is all the rules. But I highly doubt it that it is. But yeah, Britt Baker, who was there, one of the pillars, is definitely on her way out. The girl Riho, the Asian chick who was the first AEW Women's Champion, she's still on the mend with a knee injury, even though she's already coming back and exercising and doing stuff inside the ring. They don't know when she'll be cleared to come back. So right now, I mean, you got 2 of your top females. One on their way out, one still hurt. The other ones are in limbo and are in Ring of Honor that you don't use. Taya Valkyrie,
what's Camille?
Tina's still out there, and you rarely use her. And she's been 2 years Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but you keep her in.
What's Camille doing?
Camille. Dude, nobody knows. She had that thing on her elbow, and she got fired by Monet, and no one's seen her since. So we're in 2025. So imagine the buzz you had in 2023 when you were getting a free agent and you were the hottest female out there at that time, coming January 2024. And for the next 6 months, no one's seen or heard about you ever, for 6-7 months, till you finally showed up in AEW as the muscle for Monet. And then 2 months later, she's berating you, calling you dumb, stupid, all that kind of shit. So you went from the hottest free agent to being muscle, to being disrespected and being shown down like you were beneath what you're supposed to be with an arm string. And now you off again for the rest of the year. And we're in 2025. And if you say Camille's name, it's probably going to go, who?
See, but but we were saying that. We were saying that Monod doesn't want anyone that's going to be a threat to her. So what happens? She comes in, she gets the wackest role. You're her lackey. So your buzz already goes down because you're not even Camille, the enforcer, the draw, the whatever you want to call it from N.W.A.
Camille Brickhouse.
You know what I'm saying? She went from, listen, we've said this. We did our 10 pounds of gold a long time ago. We kept the 1,000 people. Before COVID, she was super green. Super green. COVID came back. We watched one match. And we were like,
he was worse or on the same level as Brandy Rhodes.
Facts.
That should tell you a lot.
Yeah, before COVID, BC, before COVID, right?
Before COVID.
We see the first match. She comes back after COVID. We're like, who's this? Right? Like,
exactly. What the hell happened here? Like, what happened?
She starts climbing her own ladder to success. N.W.A. gives her platform. She keeps growing. She has banger after banger after banger after banger. She does. I'm a free agent. I mean, and I get it. You hit your ceiling with N.W.A. You're the women's champ. You dominated. You broke records. There's nothing really left for you to do. So you go, okay, I'm a free agent. Everyone wanted you. You do your cool little video. Yeah. I've been on the phone with XYZ. There's a lot of, things going around, and I'm signed to ... 7 months later, we see you in AEW because fans are, where the fuck is Camille? Where is she? Now, we got content where we're saying, where's Camille? Where's Camille? Where's Camille?
We even put her picture on the milk carton.
We put a picture on the milk carton. Yes, we did. So she gets to AEW. You throw her under Sasha Banks. Now, all of a sudden, people are like, well, she didn't get the pop everyone thought because, well, whatever. And then now, something with an elbow, you're gone. Deuces. There's no buzz for you. right? So you go, okay, WWE is not going to sit back and go, yeah, well, maybe, right? For what?
Never know.
You got TNA involved now.
Never know.
You got TNA involved now. I don't really need Camille. I have any female I want sitting in my wings right on a phone call. Yo, I need Tasha Steelz. Yo, I need whoever, Marsha Slamovich, whoever you want in TNA. I'm a phone call from saying, yo, send this person over. So now, if I'm Impact, I really don't kind of need Camille neither, because I have anybody I want in NXT. And that is a fucking stable of young, super talented people who have a big buzz to them. So now what do? If this don't work out and those two don't call, you're leaving the third big. You go, well, maybe I'll go back home to N.W.A. or maybe I'll try MLW. And do what?
Well, N.W.A. will take her in a heartbeat.
And they should, as they should.
In a heartbeat.
But the only thing I'd say why MLW would be a little more interesting to me than N.W.A., because I've already done everything in N.W.A. like we previously said. But if I could go to Court Bauer and say, hey, look, your women's division is kind of ass. We know you have 2 girls under your roster. Bring me in. Let's build this. And I mean, I'm not saying she has to be the super focal point. I put Camille over, and I love Delmi Exo. I love Janai Kai. I think they're both super talented. Adding a girl like Camille in changes everything, because everyone looks at Janai Kai like she's the super badass tough girl. But let me say, yeah, you could do this versus girls your size, right? Because there's no real big diesel girls in MLW. Janai Kai is not physically out strengthening Camille.
No.
Not even close. So you'd have to rely on your speed game and your kick with the kick demon stuff. There's a lot of opportunities if they did it right. But at this point, there's no buzz behind her, and we love Camille. We're Camille fans.
Yeah, and then the whole thing.
Shout out to Bram.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, so you got Big Big on the way out. Riho's still hurt. Sky Blue blew out her ankle. Remember last year in a match, so nobody knows when she's going to come back because she has surgery. So you got 3 other girls who you need. Julia Hart just came back from injury, so you slowly bring her in. They're depending on one girl who I always send you those links, Harley Cameron, the singer Australian.
Yes.
And I love her because all she does is just funny and singing. She still hasn't won a match in TV, but you might want her to wrestle in your Grand Slam in Australia because you're going to Australia. So that's the one that they're trying to push now, is Harley Cameron now, who, like I said, hasn't won one match on TV yet. Where is your pastry girl at? What's her name? The whiteout girl.
Paige?
Whiteout. Yeah, Paige. Okay, she's still.
Why are you asking me? I don't watch AEW. I love Paige. I think Paige. Yo, you be hating on Paige.
Yeah, Paige is out. The other girl who was part of her crew, she got pregnant and just had the baby.
Yeah, but you know what though? With Paige, you're signing into someone.
Yeah, the one that had the
name, but with Paige, you're signing someone who's always hurt.
So you had to.
Paige,
so you got
Paige is
3 or 4, 5.
Paige is the Joel Embiid of AEW.
Hey, that's funny. The Joel Embiid. Hey man, that was funny. That was funny because Joel Embiid is always out with something. Yeah, but you got like 4, 5, 6 chicks who made your company better, who right now are unavailable for many reasons. You're trying to build a chick that you took from the back, that all she did was just talk and do songs here as parody for fun, and now you're trying to push her as a wrestler, and people are either going to buy it or they're not. So far, people are cheering, and slowly, she's getting the buzz. So I'm pretty sure she'll go against Monet down there in the Grand Slam in Australia, just because they're in Australia and that's her hometown. But yeah, other than that, you're lucky on the women's division. So
yeah, facts. So
but
listen,
that was the question was, he's blocking anybody from working WrestleMania weekend. So
he's only going to kick himself in the ass, and it's going to be a bad look, and you're going to burn a lot of relationships with people that you don't want to burn with. But before we get up out of here, so everyone knows I got to say this. Everybody knows I'm a big BKFC guy, right? I love BKFC. So I switched. I put everything back on here where it belongs. And on Wednesday, I'll be doing an interview with another BKFC fighter. I'm really excited to do it with this brother. He's 4-0. He just knocked this dude out bad. So from I'm excited.
Night? From Saturday?
No, the last one.
Okay.
So Saturday was their, it's called Knuckle Mania. That's their big pay-per-view of the year, gotcha. Which was the 5th one. But the pay-per-view before that is what this guy was on. And, man, that was a brawl. So I'm excited. He's from Edmonton. I dig it, right? Like Indian dude. So we're going to have some fire. If you want to be on it, it'll be 5:30 on Wednesday.
What you mean Indian? You mean Native American?
No, like India.
Oh, India. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hyped up because this dude be laying. I mean, I'll send you a clip of his 4 knockouts. You'd be like, dang, dude be taking people out. Wednesday, 5:30. So I'm going to try to get you to jump on there. I know you're kind of iffy with things, but listen, we're doing shit. We got a lot of shit coming. I just threw a quick video of a guy getting knocked out. It has over 15,000 views. So listen, y'all know what it is. Urban Wrestling Network, Muffins Martinez. We're going to try to get this out to you as fast as I can. 4:59. I'm going to try to get this guy to get it out of here before 5:30. So for me and this man, we out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.
No balloons.
No more balloons.